Stephenson, also based on a real-life N15X locomotive. He's Remembrance's brother, who is cynical and paranoid and not afraid to speak his mind, but is also willing to give advice to others at his own will.
This character seems fun to voice. I'll audition. You never know.
Stephenson will be voiced by Rob the Green Engine.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect upon this.
Morning, Stephenson. Beautiful day, isn't it?
If this is one of your vain attempts to try to motivate me, it's not working.
You're still upset about your sister leaving, I reckon.
Yes. First, she's taken out of service for that overhaul of hers, and now our controllers open that new lightweight express service, only to postpone it, so that Remembrance can stay on solo for a while.
Now come on, where's that smile of yours?
Must you do that every single morning? Cinders and ashes, things have been hard enough for me as it is.
I realize that, but this is a great opportunity for Remembrance. Especially since she gets to see your famous cousin Thomas again.
Oh yes, that cheeky old fusspot.
And speaking of great opportunities, guess who's going to be pulling the Valleyfields flyer from now on? You guessed it! Solario and I will be doing that.
Well, that does sound exciting, my dear.
Oh, I know. To pull a train of such prestige, it's just such an honor. And to take over for two of our dearest friends, too.
Speak of the devil. So how was your day, Stephenson? Well, I wonder what's gotten into him. I'd never known him to be this bad-tempered.
Oh, never mind him, Solario. He's just upset 'cause he's not the one pulling the train anymore.
Never mind. Never mind. You know, one of these days, one of you will have an accident. I've seen you both pull that train. You think you know better than I do. We'll see about that.
Rubbish. We're much too sensible for that to happen. Where would you get that idea?
From experience. One of my classmates had an accident with an express, several decades ago. Rammed into the back of another train, damaging his front severely. And given the circumstances, you'd think they would repair him. Oh no, they sold him for scrap right afterwards, because they considered him to be beyond repair. Mark my words, it can happen.
And it says here on the schedule that you, Stephenson, will be pulling the Valleyfield flyer today.
Stephenson was surprised but overcome with joy, and without a second thought, he rushed to the station to pick up his train.
Rick, I might have known. Are you really going to believe that guy?
Well, he was just filling in for Mr. Butcher and Mr. Cavendish for now. But if that's the case, why not?
They hadn't gone far when Stephenson began to feel pain on top of his firebox.
Oh boy, this does not look good.
He struggled for a few miles until he reached the second junction, where the fly was meant to stop. Wilson, the B-1 tender engine, was already there with his train.
Come on, boy. You can do it. You're almost there.
Shut up, Wilson! What's happening to me? I think I'm gonna fall apart.
Stephenson's driver skillfully shut off steam and applied the brakes. Still wincing in pain, Stephenson stopped with only his boiler at the platform.
Shame. I was real hoping you'd make it, boy.
Oh, really? Ugh. So was I. One of these days, I'll give you something to complain about. Oh, great.
Oh my, Stephenson. For someone who seems to know more about that flyer than me, you sure have forgotten a few things.
Alright, that's enough, you two. Now, Enterprise, do you think you could pull us to the workstation and take the train onwards?
Just what I was supposed to do anyway.
What's that supposed to mean? Wait a minute. Rick got our timetables mixed up, didn't he? That's what I was afraid of. Thanks for the offer, Enterprise. But my time on that flyer is done.
I don't understand. You loved pulling that train. Why, if I recall correctly, you were mortified when you heard it'd been given to Celerio and I.
Yes, I was. But I've seen how you and Celerio exchanged that train, and it's incredible. Just like how Remembrance and I used to do it. But now that Remembrance has her own service to look after, running the Valleyfields flyer just isn't the same without her.
Oh, I see.
The flyer's yours now, and Celerio's. But continue to take good care of it for us, will you? Now, where have I seen that in you before? Great, God, Red. Excuse me?
Ahem?
Oh, sorry there.
What are you staring at me for?
Oh, nothing. I was just... Don't I know you from somewhere?
I don't know. Do you?
Aha! I knew it! See, Monty, what did I tell you? That there's a Northwesterner if I ever did see one.
I think I got it. It's Stephenson, right?
Yes. How did you know? Rachel. That's quite a name.
As he watched Rachel pull out of the works sidings and onto the open line, ready for her journey back to Sodor, Stephenson was left with admiration.
We would talk endlessly about our runs and how great we were at them.
Alright, you two, we get it. You're great express engineers. But you do realise we all pull express trains, don't you?
Yes, brother, I'm aware of that. No need to be such a downer.
Stephenson, you'll be the first to undergo the conversion.
Me? Become a tender engine? But I couldn't possibly...
Come, we'll take you to the shops first thing tomorrow.
I couldn't understand why Stephenson was chosen to go first instead of me. And I still don't, actually.
At least we'll be spared of old Stephenson's misery for the next few months.
I heard that.
A very good point indeed, Stroudley, my dear.
Wow, is that a new engine? Marvellous sight, I must say.
Marvellous? I think you mean, now that's how you make a steam engine.
I don't know about this, guys. What if we were to, say, overheat or fall apart or run a hot axle box? I think the Chief might be making a terrible mistake.
And here he goes, being paranoid again.
Oh, shut up. Did it ever occur to you that this whole modernization thing might be getting a bit, I don't know, out of hand?
Relax, Stevens. You won't know for sure how your rebuild will hold up until you've at least pulled your first train. Who knows? Maybe the trial will go without a hitch and Mornsel will have made the right decision.
Well, that blasted trial run couldn't have gone more horribly. After we stopped at the last station before the return journey, my driver and fireman came and lashed out at me because they thought I was bouncing them around in my cab. The driver even had the nerve to call me a bucking bronco and said he'd gladly give up his career if it meant never having to drive me again.
But what about the passengers? Didn't they at least have a comfortable ride?
What does it matter? My own crew doesn't want to work with me anymore. Is this what the Chief wanted? To change us so that we'd ultimately be out of commission? Well. Look who finally got out of the workshop.
Oh, I know. Don't I look ravishing, brother?
Stunning. Oh, and in case you're wondering, no, they didn't put me out of service, thank God, Red. I've merely been put on something called an interregional train, so my crew won't have to deal with any more rough riding.
Oh, you poor baby. What a shame you've been reduced to regular old passenger duties. But don't fret. If you couldn't uphold our class's prestigious image, at least someone here can.
Good luck. Props on Pratt. Hello, Rembrandts. So, how has upholding our prestigious image been going?
Fine. Just fine. You know you're the pride of the railway when your own crew leaves you stranded, so that another engine has to come rescue you.
Well, so much for them having nothing but good things to say about you. Ah well, I'd better get you and your train running again before someone rams into the back of it.
I expected him to laugh at me, or at the very least scold me. But I was a bit surprised that he did neither of those things.
Laugh at you? This isn't the time for teasing, Remembrance. We must make up for lost time here.
Just like the rest of you lot. That we sleep in the same sheds and hold the same trains.
And our crews don't like us anymore for the same reason.
Yeah, that too. But, at least it's now easier for us to pull heavier trains.
I beg to differ there.
Trevithick and I were pretty pumped about it, which Stephenson couldn't really understand.
Helping people go off to kill other people isn't exactly something to get excited about. I'm just saying.
What are you going on about, Stephenson? I think it'd be fun to get in on the action there. That's what I live for.
It had only been a few minutes since he'd cleared the station throat when suddenly... Germans? What are they doing here?
They're just dropping by with some birthday presents for us. And by the looks of it, they'll be dropped down from the sky when we're least expecting it.
Stephenson, you don't think the manager would just scrap us like that, do you?
I don't know, Trevithick. I mean, he already did away with Hackworth. Any one of us could be next. Changing times indeed. You know, it's times like this where I wish the times didn't have to change.
Never mind, Stephenson. It's unfortunate Hackworth's gone, but the rest of us are still here. We're some of the most reliable engines on the line, so we'll probably still be here running long after engines even newer than Spitfire's kind.
You know, I remember you telling me something quite similar when we got converted into tender engines. And guess what? We got downgraded to local trains because of it. I'd hate to shatter your hopes, Cudworth, but Spitfire's right. If they sold Hackworth for scrap, they'll do the same for us. All of us. And no amount of reliability is going to change that.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Remembrance. I'm Rebecca.
Fenchurch, what's going on? Where are you taking Cudworth?
Sorry, Stephenson. I thought we'd be alright, but I was wrong.
This can't be happening. Please, tell me this isn't happening.
Sorry about that, Stephenson. Trevithick's been in an accident. Crashed into the back of another train beyond here.
Trevithick? In an accident?
Yup. He's in pretty bad shape from what I've been told.
But he's going to be alright, isn't he?
It was a long time before Stephenson had been given the all-clear to set off again.
Trevithick! Are you alright, Trevithick? Say something!
I don't know how to say this, but, sir, Trevithick is going to be repaired.
What? But I don't understand.
He was taken to the works after the crash, but he was so badly damaged that he was too expensive to repair. I had no choice but to sell him for scrap.
You did what?
Stephenson, I'm sorry. Please understand.
Well, understand this!
Stephenson!
Oh, look. I too still mourn for Trevithick. But sooner or later, my dear, you'll have to get over it and start picking up a slack.
What's the point? We're all gonna face the cutter's torch anyway.
Stephenson! Stephenson! You're not gonna believe this! I'm gonna be saved!
Congratulations.
But I've just been bought by another railway.
And meanwhile, your siblings are dying one by one. Think of that when you're off in the paradise that is another railway.
Well, why don't you come with me? We'll start a whole new life.
Don't you get it? I don't want to start a new life.
But if you stay here, you're eventually gonna get replaced.
Then so be it.
Are you just giving up?
Yes. Just because some bloke in a suit decided to buy you, you think he's going to keep you safe for the rest of your life? Yeah. Wait till he brings in best rangers to replace you and sells you for scrap. Well, I'm having no part of it. They can come cut me up right where I am, for all I care.
Well, that's it then. It's off to the scrap heap for old Stroudley, once the pride of the southern region.
Will you knock it off? You act like this hellhole of a railway ever cared about us. It never did. They might as well scrap us all now and be done with it. At least I won't have to witness other railways picking favourites among us.
Stroudley. BT. Please forgive me for this.
Remembrance. What did you do?
Oh, nothing. I may have coupled up behind you and took you with me while you were sleeping. Now we can start a whole new life together.
Remembrance, I told you, I don't want to be saved. Being scrapped was my one chance to escape the tyranny of this world, and you wrecked it for me. Yeah, right. Will someone bring a torch and cut me up already?
Stephenson, please. You're my best friend in the whole world. I don't think I could live with myself if I lost you.
And yet you could live without BT or Stroudley, am I right?
Well, nothing against either of them, but BT and I were never that close, and Stroudley has just been impossible to deal with. But that's not the point. Just give this railway a chance, Stephenson. If not for me, do it for Cudworth or Trevithick.
You know what? I should like to be repainted Brunswick green and white stripes in Trevithick's honour. But I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for him.
Stephenson still had his doubts about starting a new life without all of us there.
But I think he's become used to it as the years went by.